Disclaimer. Explicit content will be discussed on this episode. If you with it, stay tuned. If not, I'll see you soon. See, what they don't know is they're tuning in to DBYT Podcast. My name is Taisha Hines, and this is my show where I'll explore the ins and outs of the world around me. You can tune in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. On this week's episode, we'll pick up where we left off with two new guests. They will give us their input on how they feel and how they see our men in today's society. Thank you, Jarrell and Michaela, for joining me this week. With that being said, let's get into it. Today's positive inspirational is be selective in your battle. Sometimes peace is better than being right. Hey, Jarrell, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, in your opinion, what makes a man a man?
What makes a man is like the three things he set for himself. Like, okay, so God, family, and hard work. Those will be three things that he set himself on. Those are three things he will live by each day. So that's something I think that will make a man.
Okay. Michaela, and in your opinion?
Overall, I think the one key word that makes a man is respect for himself and other people overall. Because you could be a quote-unquote man depending on your age, but if you don't respect other people and yourself, I don't feel like you're a man.
Okay.
Jarrell, do you feel pressured to uphold a certain image in society?
Yes, I do. As a black man, you have to be able to keep yourself up at all times because a lot of things are always portrayed about the black man. So you have to really make sure you're educated. So my mom always told me, if you're educated, nobody can take that away from you. And so that's what I always tell myself, to make sure I'm educated. I ain't gonna say I'm dressed nicely today, but dressed nicely to look like presentable to people. And so.
Okay, Michaela, what traits are a man supposed to carry?
Can you elaborate on that?
I guess, what do they need to have in order to make themselves presentable?
In my eyes?
Yeah,
like
in your eyes, yeah.
To be a man?
Yeah.
Physical physique?
Whatever.
Or
physical, mentally, emotionally,
okay, I
financially.
Can start with, mentally. Okay, well, like I said, respect for you, yourself and others. Being open-minded. I don't like closed-minded men in general, or people in general. Let me see. I don't really know how to answer that question. I gotta think about it.
Jarrell, you want to help her out?
Well, I mean, a trait a man should have, or really, how can he stay consistent with himself? Like, when he do things, like, what's a trait? Like, okay, so if he got a woman and he's being inconsistent, that's not a trait somebody's gonna want to have. Like, he's showing her he loves her one day, then the next day he shows he don't care for her. So consistency for me would be a main trait a man should have for himself.
Okay.
All right, Michaela, what defines masculinity?
I guess it depends on who you ask. But to me, masculinity is being not feminine.
Yeah. I agree.
I guess you could say quote unquote tough and knowing yourself. Like, you have to know yourself. Like, if somebody call you gay or something like that, you shouldn't feel no way about it if you know yourself.
Okay.
If you're not gay, then I don't really think nobody should care about what other people think.
Based on her definition, do you consider yourself masculine?
Yes.
Okay.
But I would like to elaborate on her because, to define that, I would say for that, you have to be able to take charge. You have to be able to take charge.
I agree.
Like, no woman want to be behind a man that can't take charge and put himself in control. So
that's true.
You just got to be able to show that you can lead and be anywhere comfortable with her.
The alpha male.
Okay.
Jarrell, what is the difference between a boy and a man?
Okay, a boy is what I said earlier. He's gonna be inconsistent from time to time. He's not gonna care what she says. He's gonna go off on her, say stupid things, probably hurt her feelings. But a man is gonna show her like where she went wrong, show her to help her out, like, and be able to like make sure both of them are growing. Make sure that she's learning at the same time, and that he's leading her like on the right path. He's never letting her like get down on herself or anything like that. A man is somebody like I said, he takes charge. He knows what he wants. And so that's what I feel like that's the difference between a boy and a man.
With that being said, would you say that a boy carries toxic masculinity traits?
Yes, a boy do because a lot of men and boys don't want to admit, but they do toxic things. And so for a boy is gonna do more toxic things than a man because a man has already seen his toxic traits and he has dealt with them. So he's not gonna do them anymore. But for a boy to stay a boy, he's gonna see what he's done wrong and he's gonna continue to do. He's gonna continue to make those same mistakes instead of changing them.
Michaela, was there an instance? Oh,
Where you tested a man's manhood?
yeah.
Mark just.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there was, but I can't think of anything right after that. I may have to come back to this question and think about it.
Okay.
But can I elaborate on the last question?
Yeah.
I feel like a boy, I'm going to speak financially, is someone who doesn't want to get away from his mom. Like, he's always there at his mama's house. He don't want to go out, do his own thing. Or he always has somebody to rely on, whether it be a girlfriend, his mom, his aunt, grandma. He don't never want to get away. I feel like that is a boy characteristic. Versus a man, he going to go out and get his own and then provide for whoever the next person in his life may be.
We were just talking about what Mama's Boys the other day. Okay, yeah.
Jarrell, was there an instance where your manhood was tested by a woman?
I mean, I feel like the people I've always talked to, I've never been tried, like never been tested by anybody, like manhood wise. I've never been tried by anybody. I've always been cool, laid back, and like people just know, like if you have that vibe, oh, we're not gonna really mess with him. You don't do nothing to like make somebody mad at him or anything like that for us to try him. So I feel like I've never been tried like that.
Okay. Michaela, in what condition is it okay for a man to express his more sensitive emotions?
Anytime.
Anytime?
Anytime.
Do you agree?
I agree with that because like if you know somebody and you real like connected with them, you should be able to share yourself with them and like not worry about what they say about you. So, and I mean that's one thing men do. They do not like want to share their sensitive side.
And I feel like if he don't feel like he can come to me, then maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe he needs to go get help so where he can come to me and talk to me about his problems, his issues. Because like there's no point of being in a relationship if you can't express yourself to me. I'm not here to judge you. Like I don't care. We could cry together if you got something going on.
That's true.
But yeah, like, and I feel like a lot of men are realizing now that it doesn't matter if you cry in front of somebody, and if that person does judge you, then you need a new crowd of people to hang around.
That's true. I agree.
Jarrell, why do you believe there are fatherless children in this country?
Oh, that's a tough one because my dad ain't even in my life. So it's like I feel like once they do it and they do make the kid or anything like that, it's a lot of men that just so-called men don't want to stand up and take care of what they did. So it's like they're really being selfish to that kid because like it's hard growing. I'm not gonna say it's hard, but it's kind of difficult to grow up in life without that father figure, like without seeing how to be a man. And now, like for me, it's like you gotta learn yourself, like how to be a man. So you're gonna make a lot of mistakes until you get it right. Instead of having that father figure that showed you each time where you went wrong. And I just feel like there's a lot of men out here that just don't want to step up to the plate. Like they're scared. And they're not really men if you're scared of something.
I'd say I don't think you're a man if you leave your child.
Yeah.
So I mean, you out here creating babies, but you want them to just go out there and fend for themselves. I don't feel like you're a man. I feel like you're still a boy, even though you're doing men-like things. You're not a man.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can do all the things that you say that a man's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But once it comes down to the time to be a man, and you're not able to step up, then you're not considered a man any way you put it. Like,
and
you folded.
It's crazy because it's like your child could grow up and be somebody with all these issues and you can't even help them because you don't know that child. Even if you do come in at the age of 18 when technically it's like you're a grown person, it's like, well, you haven't been there, so you don't know me. You can't help me, really. You know, I just think that's what I think.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I feel like it could also, I feel like a lot of black fathers are taken from their children because of the system, you know, like jail wise. And I feel like it could be a systematic issue, racial wise. And yeah, I feel like a lot of kids' fathers are in jail. And that's another issue on top of another issue when it comes to fatherless children.
But that's if you look at the numbers, because it's just so happened I did a paper over this before, and the numbers show that there are not a lot of fathers that are in jail. It's like they're not there anyway. Like they was never there from the point. Like when the kid was born, they left. They are gone. So it's like it's not the system. We can't blame it on the government or somebody else. It's just it's up to them. Do they want to be in this child life?
And I feel like it's also a cycle.
And yeah, it's like, and that's something I hate. Like it's a continuous cycle. Like a kid's born, oh, it's just the mother raising them. Like it's so many single mothers out here. Like it's starting to get crazy. Like it's just like, oh, we're used to that now.
Or you have to have a stepfather come in, because I have a stepdad that has been there for me since I was born. So it's like, even though my dad was there at the beginning, he didn't stay long enough to understand who I was. But I'm blessed to have had another man figure in my life to show me how a man's supposed to treat a woman. Because without my stepdad, I don't know who I would be.
Shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never had that, to be honest, because I've never had like. When I was born, my father had left.
Right.
Like probably a month after that or something like that. And like my granddaddy, he was always focused on his other kids, like his other grandkids, stuff like that. So I was like, I've never had that to look to anyway. So it's like it's always been me just making mistakes by myself. And like I just learned from each mistake, like, okay, not do this, not do that. So I'm trying to make myself into my own man.
Right.
So I can learn, like, okay, so like if I have a kid one day, I've already told myself, like, if I get somebody pregnant, I'm getting married to them. I don't want my kid to grow up and be like, oh, my daddy was never there. My dad was always there for me because I never had that feeling. So I want him to feel that, or she, whoever it is, I just want them to feel the same way that I've never felt.
Right. I don't feel like marriage solves the issues of having a kid. Like, I feel like you should have a great relationship with the person, but marriage should, well, it depends on if you believe in it or not. But I believe in it. But you shouldn't get married to somebody just because you got them pregnant.
Yeah,
because that's really toxic for the child too.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm talking about, if I'm gonna have a kid, I want to make sure it's with somebody I know for a fact I want to be with for the rest of my life. I don't want to have a kid with somebody like, oh, I don't want to be with you.
Okay, Michaela, if you had the funds and access to go to therapy, would you go?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Ready. Yeah, okay. No.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just not ready yet. I don't feel like, I feel like everybody needs therapy, but I don't know. Okay. I'm not ready yet.
I'm not with her on that. I don't think everybody needs therapy. There's some people that need therapy, but I'm not one of those people. If they say I had the financial, I could go to therapy and stuff. No, I'm good with myself. If I need therapy, I just go talk to God. That's all I need right there. I'm gonna just go from there.
And I hear you, but I personally feel like everybody needs therapy. I feel like you need to express yourself and actually hear what's going on in your life. Like you, obviously you know what's going on, but sometimes when you say it out loud, you're like, oh snap, like who am I? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what's the point? Okay, so you can go to therapy, and then boom, you say it out loud, and you say it to that person, and they don't know how you feel.
They are trained to know how you feel. You know
what I'm saying? If they don't? Like, what if they don't do nothing for you? You just spent your money for nothing.
Okay, well, let's say this. Since you're in college right now, we obviously have a mental, what's the name?
Counseling.
Yeah, we have a counseling center. You already paid for it in your tuition, so are you already wasting money?
Yeah, I'm pretty much wasting money. I see, because I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, mental health is very important because once you lose your mind, it's hard to get it back.
You said like your dad you don't feel like your dad not being there impacted you in some type of way that you want to talk about and better yourself?
I didn't want to talk. Like I didn't want to talk. I just got over it. Really, I was
think so?
But you burying that. Sometimes you need to let it go.
I don't feel like I buried it because like once I seen him, and like I was like, okay, I finally seen you in my life. I'm cool with it now. Like I feel I'm at peace with it. I don't have no hatred towards you
Okay.
or anything, any of your decisions. That's what you decided to do. I have moved on from that. I'm not bad at it. It's just like I gotta continue on with my life. I cannot let that one thing continue holding me back or holding a grudge against him.
So you talked to yourself about it before?
Yeah, I mean, I have conversation with myself because I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been nights when I was younger. I'd be like, dang, like, why was he never there for me?
I understand that.
And like, I have an older brother and older sister. And I was like, he was there for them. So it's like when I was born, like, what was the problem with me? Why you left when I came into the world? And so I used to ask my question, like, was I the problem? Was it this? Was it that? And I was like, once I got older, once I got to the age, I say of 18, I was like, I'm not going to continue putting myself through that. I just got at peace with it, to be honest.
Okay. So, Jarrell, how do you feel about marriage?
Marriage, I feel, great, wonderful, anything. Like, I can just think about it because, like, that's one thing that has been a goal for me, to find somebody that I truly love, that's truly a best friend to me, that I know that would never betray me, and just have the rest of my life with them. It's always been my plan to get married around 26, 27. I don't know why, but it just is. And it's like, I grew up watching like shows of like Fresh Friends, My Wife and Kids, how they were happy. I'm like, I want that same feeling with that one woman in my family. So like that's my feeling about marriage.
Michaela, how do you feel about marriage?
I love. So I plan to get married someday. Like I do. I feel it in me. I have a vision board about it. I have a Pinterest about all this, wedding rings, dresses, how I'm gonna look, all this and the third. But I see people on Twitter say I'm only getting married once. If I don't get married once, no, if I get married more than once, then it's not meant to be, blah, blah, blah. I, however, believe people make, I wouldn't say mistakes, but I believe people learn in life. And I feel like just because they didn't work out with that one person you married, you should give up on love and get married. I don't think so. But I also do believe in divorce. And people always talk about our generation and how we give up so easily and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like we look at our grandparents, not knowing what they went through. Some grandparents had an option to get divorced. It wasn't an option. So I believe in marriage and I believe in divorce. But marriage is always go, and it's always to stay married to that one person as long as you can, of course. I'm not saying that. But yeah.
Well, so okay. Well, I'm just gonna say everybody's not the same. Like, in my experience, in my family, if I'm thinking right, none of my grandparents were married. And I mean, my parents are married, yeah, but I personally just don't care for marriage.
Really?
I really don't.
See, I'm the opposite. None of my grandparents are divorced. They're all together.
Yeah.
But I also grew up in a Catholic family who don't believe in divorce. Because Catholics don't believe in divorce, but
work it out.
I'm not Catholic.
You believe in it, exactly. Shit happens. That's all I'm saying. I feel like people just need to grow out of that childish mindset of, oh, this is it.
Like, tough it out kind of thing.
Exactly.
I ain't even gonna go there. Do you see yourself creating a family one day?
Of course. That's it. Of course.
Just of course.
Man, you what? Yes, I can see myself starting today.
Oh my God!
Not today, but
tomorrow.
When I'm financially stable, but when I'm financially stable and I know I'm happy with that person, then yes, I'm looking to start a family one day. That's the goal for me.
Michaela, what is your game plan for the next 5 years?
Oh, sheesh.
Lord?
To graduate college first and foremost. God,
okay.
Listen.
Yep.
I want to start paying off my student debt. Okay, good credit score for build my credit. I plan to move out from my parents' house, of course, in the next 5 years. I'm old as hell, y'all. So. And hopefully I will start a serious relationship with somebody. And then I would have my foot in the door, at least into my career, whether it be internship or networking. Somehow I want to start in my career in the next 5 years. I know it's going to happen because I'm 22. Not going to display my age on the radio. But yeah.
What's your career plan? Like, what do you want to be? when you
I'm
grow up?
going to be a TV personality.
All right.
And interview people like you're doing.
Oh.
I like talking to people. I'm a talkative person. So yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. What's your game plan?
Well, pretty much, like she said, graduate. And once I graduate, I'm looking to work at In-Game Sports. It's like right down the road with a magazine, get an internship for the spring. And then I know for a fact in the future, I'm going to have my own sports analyst show on ESPN. Like, that has been my dream since I was like 5 years old, and I'm not going to stop until I get it. And so, like, pretty much just continue working until I get it.
Okay.
Jarrell, when is it okay for a man to feel vulnerable?
I want to say when you're around, at least around your girl or around your friends, your so-called your friends. As long as you feel like you're comfortable around them and you got a lot on your mind or a lot on your chest, that's a perfect time to go and get it all out and just talk to somebody about it. But if you don't never feel vulnerable around anybody, that means you got some kind of trust issues or somebody done hurt you before and you couldn't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Michaela, what do you think?
Repeat the question. When's a good time to be vulnerable?
When is it okay for a man to be vulnerable?
Around people you trust. And I just feel like that's the bottom line. Because if you're around people you can't trust or you think it's gonna make fun of you for being vulnerable, then that's gonna lock you up even more into like your own self and you won't express that to nobody else.
It's gonna have a very bad impact on your mental health, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. That you might need to go to a therapist to talk to.
Yeah.
Right?
What if the therapist laugh at you though?
All right.
Now you need to report them. That's
exactly.
Period. That's what they're saying. Okay, Michaela, how do you feel about men who express more emotions than other men? Meaning they're more sensitive than other men.
That's just who they are. But I feel like we haven't talked about this yet, but I feel like gay men could be masculine too.
Mm-hmm.
And like we haven't said that. And I feel like they can be very masculine and straight men could be very feminine. But it depends on the person and who's to judge them.
And it depends on how you like define it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It depends on how you define feminine and how you define masculine. But yeah, what's that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I never used to express myself. But like it's just the person I used to talk to, they just made me feel like, oh, I can open up now, I can express myself anytime I want. But at the same time still keeping like that man in me, like, hey, look, some stuff you just don't need to express. Some stuff you just need to keep to your damn self.
Like
keep
what?
it to yourself.
Oh.
Like anything, like, okay, like if you feel like you're going through something in life and you feel like, okay, if I express with somebody, they're probably not going to understand, like an illness or just something about your job. Somebody's not going to understand that but you until you fix it. So it's just some stuff you keep to yourself. Like, you don't have to open up to everybody about it. And like, that's why me now, I express myself more because I feel more comfortable now. Like I'm comfortable with myself now. So I don't have to worry about, oh, you think this way. I don't care how you think about me. It's my life. You don't run nothing in my life. So if I told you, I mean, I trusted you with it. So it's up to me right then and there how I want to express myself to people.
I honestly feel like we're more alike than we are different, and sometimes we don't like to go to other people, like maybe your friends or something, because you think they might not understand, but sometimes they don't tell you everything. So when you do confide in them and they be like, I know exactly what you mean, it makes you feel like a whole lot better to be like, I'm not alone in this situation,
Yeah, because we always
it makes you feel better.
Yeah,
we always think that our problems are personal to us alone, but really a lot of other people have experienced the same.
Let's grab a bottle, let's drink to our sorrow.
Therapist.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is the last question that I have. Do you see them as weak or strong, and why? And that's pertaining to the last question where I asked about men being sensitive.
I mean, I see them as being strong, to be honest, because like I was saying, you're comfortable with yourself, so you're strong about your opinion about yourself. You're strong about how you feel about everything, and you just feel great that you can get that off your chest. Like, you don't have to worry about anything else. And now you're finna see how somebody else feel about that same situation with you.
All right.
And you can get really their opinion about it. I mean, y'all kind of talking about that there. Crap, man.
Oh my gosh.
But honestly, anybody could be your therapist. You could be your own therapist, your friends, your family, or somebody that you pay.
Professional.
Yeah, because sometimes you may not want your family looking at you like, oh my gosh, what is going on with you? Like, why are you so depressed? Why are you so weak? You know, because sometimes we.
Because I'm in college. This shit happens, honestly.
Yeah, and we go through a lot of things with jobs and relationships and school. So I mean, with all those things coming down on us, it's bound to happen sometimes. But what do you think?
Listen, there are levels to this sensitive shit.
Yeah,
Okay?
it is.
And there's only so much I could take. I could get. You said what?
So I started thinking that you're a woman. Hey, hold up, wait now. You expressing yourself too much.
Oh.
Going too far.
Yeah. I just honestly, there's people who are too sensitive. There is a such thing in my book. People who are too sensitive. But I feel like that person just needs to find a medium and you know, gather themselves, or they kind of talk about their sensitive issues. To me personally, because yeah.
I don't have a problem with oversensitive people usually.
But there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. There should be a time and place.
Yeah. There you
Time
go.
and place.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any last remarks, guys?
Damn, I should have wrote something down. But, no, not that I can think
I don't
of.
have a last remark.
Joe?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, that's all we have for today's show. Thank you, Michaela, Jarrell, and Joseph, for joining me today. And yeah, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Well, if you ask me, if you want to be considered a man in today's society, you have to be willing to put the work in to feel and be seen as one. No one will give you a pity pass. If you are in a group that has a tad bit harder in life, don't let that discourage you from putting in the effort to become the best man that you can be. Women are evolving and aren't depending on men as much as they used to. So show them that you're worth the time and that you aren't like the others that they come across. That's all we have for Don't Bite Your Tongue today. I want to thank everybody who tuned in this week. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at _SENIH, my Snapchat at TYESHA37, or even my Twitter at ITS_TYESHAH. If you have any comments, suggestions, topics, or questions, feel free to use the voice message feature to send it through the Anchor app. Or if you've tuned in through another external podcasting service, you can hit me up on my social media. Tune in next week where we'll be discussing banging body images. Again, I want to thank all the guests that I had today on the show. And I'm Taisha, and I promise I won't bite my tongue.